Hello, ladies, germs, and in-betweens. Tonight, I invite you inside for the latest installment in my series of apartment tours. And boy, do we have a show for you tonight. Where better to start than with our wonderful doorman, always welcoming and truly a pillar of this abode.
Hello, everybody.
Without him, we would never be able to ascend to greater things, so let's do that. For returning fans of the series, you may be wondering, what do you possibly have to show us? I already watched a 17-minute video. And with that, I will say, not much, but what there is speaks volumes. For I have taken on a life of minimalism. That will be a major theme of today's video. And also for those counting out there, let's see how many times I say minimal or minimalist or minimizing. And whoever leaves a comment with the correct count might just win a prize. And now that I have your attention, let's turn towards the utility room. Now you might be thinking, what happened to that whole minimalist thing? Aren't you starting off on the wrong foot here? And to that, I say, how about you pack up your bad attitude and ship off? Because this is all of the waste that I've produced within the last 2 years of living here. So, you may notice in this corner the remains of the networking room. I have since abandoned all use of the internet. You might be wondering how you're going to watch this video. I'm not sure, but I've since decided that kind of stuff is for losers. Here on this side of the apartment is a rather glowing living room. You may notice the centerpiece here. This is my thinking chair where I often ponder the wonders of the universe. Oftentimes locking eyes with our friend here. Here in this corner we have a vacuum. It's not the best, it kind of sucks. Also have this box. I'm just burning to show you what this is about later. Over here we have some video equipment, otherwise I would not be making this video right now. Like this charger. Let's charge on with the tour. You may have noticed while entering, we have this tripod here. This is used for my surveillance system. Unfortunately, I'm using the camera right now to film this video, so let's hope no one tries to enter. Now with that said, I did not show you this cabinet here, which, well, there's not much going on here. On this side, we have a spy. Oh no! One of the great things about minimalism is that there's not many places to hide inside of a minimalist apartment. There's a thermostat here. Claims to be at 69 degrees. Very nice. Let's take a quick look at the half restroom here. There's not really much to say about this room. Fairly understated. But I will say, I dare not think what lives behind this panel here. Welcome to the kitchen. Now you might notice there's quite a few cabinets here. Why do you need that if you're living such a minimalist lifestyle? Well, the truth is, there's not many apartments made for minimalists, so I just got to kind of deal with that. Very few of these drawers and cabinets are actually populated. Here we have some silverware, air quotes. Also have some kitchen scissors, because sometimes knives just don't cut it. Inside of our refrigerator, have some liquid to prevent dehydration. In particular, we have some green tea here and some lemonade. Now, for the aspiring young mathematicians watching out there, I have a bit of a math problem for you. 2 halves make a... I will give you 1 minute to think of the answer. Inside of the freezer here, it's making some weird noises. We also have half of a Carmelo. Don't think too hard about that. And in this corner, I have, last but not least, Teddy Peanut Butter. Well, they are not a sponsor of this video. They're truly the next best thing to sliced bread. Speaking of that, we have a couple slices of bread here. Perhaps I'll make a quick sandwich and some B-roll and you'll watch that right now. Who knows? But yeah, go check this stuff out. Just a personal recommendation. Now also, I think the timer's up for the math problem. I would tell you the answer, but it wouldn't make a whole lot of sense. Here we have the sink. Here are the remains of my previous meal. It was a bit crummy, and you might be able to consider it a wash, but it was satiating enough. Here we have the dining room. Now you might be wondering, where is the furniture? And to that I will tell you, even the most novice of minimalists know that standing up while eating is a way to minimize the restriction on your digestive system. So here I like to just, walk around and enjoy some peanut butter and whatnot. Here on this side of the dining room we have a pair of closets. Not much of anything in that one, but over here we do have a box of let's just say those who deal with this box suffer rather minimally. Moving along, let's not get too wound up on that, but let's proceed up our spiral staircase, a rather unique feature of this apartment. Not unlike the term found in bingo, I consider this to be a free space. When seeking out minimalism, it's good to not worry too much about the point of a room. Just let it find you. If I make another joke about skeletons inside of a closet, you might have a bit of a bone to pick with me, so I will avoid that. Anyway, let's take a look inside of this room here. It's a bit more of like a closet storage space. As it turns out, I found it to be, on warm summer days, to be a bit like a sauna without the water, but with the off-gassing of VOCs. Kind of provides a similar experience. On this side of the room, we also have some unique features. There's this all-around cool-looking light above the spiral staircase. Another hatch, which I dare not think of what resides back there. And also, here is the fitness room. You might recall from my previous video these stretching mats. I've decided to keep these. They also provide a pleasant place to sleep at times. Perhaps more importantly, while performing upward facing dog one day, I noticed a great deity resides in this room.
Good tidings to you, my child.
And on that day, my life was changed forever. So yes, this is now what I would consider to be my prayer room to the great bony banana. Aside the prayer room, we also have the full restroom, which I actually consider to be a little bit rough and tumble because we also have the laundry machine here. You'll notice, unlike last time, there are no clothes to be found. And that's because I have reduced my number of clothing items down to a few pairs. Only what is minimally required. There's also a full tub and shower. I have the same bottles of conditioner and shampoo that I've had for the past decade. Truly using the minimal amount of soap. Also have this little bit of a closet here, not too much going on. Again, a thing of Pine Sol I've had for like a decade. And also this Wawa cup, because gotta have a Wawa cup for cleaning. Now as we make our way back downstairs, you might be wondering, where in the world do you sleep? And the truth is, wherever I like. A minimal life means minimal restrictions, and I find that truly empowering. And with that, all good things must come to an end. But thank you for not sitting this tour out. Don't forget to do that like, comment, and subscribe thing. And allow me to take a quick rest here in this chair. Wait, what is all this? Oh, did I forget to mention I just bought a house? Thank you all for watching until the end of the video. As you may have noticed, I haven't really posted any videos in a hot minute. It wasn't really the plan, but that's kind of how things work out sometimes. While the first installment in this apartment tour series may not be quite a cinematic masterpiece, I tend to look back on it fairly fondly, and I enjoy it as a chronicle of a place that I lived for 3 years of my life. So it probably wouldn't have felt right to not give this apartment the same kind of treatment. Even though I had largely moved out and had to come up with a silly premise to make it work. On that topic, this electric fireplace here was provided by my parents. This fireplace in the living room isn't really meant to be used. I was specifically told not to, so they decided I might as well have this here. My new house that I purchased doesn't have a fireplace, so I'm going to be leaving this here as a bit of a memento of my time. So, yeah, let's give it a nice warm goodbye. On a slightly more bittersweet note, the apartment tour series is likely put on hold for the foreseeable future, so don't expect any of those. However, house tour coming soon, TM. And yeah, until next time, bye-bye.